it's Rona, and today I am here with Scraplift Crafternoon, and today we are scraplifting Jenny from Scrappin Happy Studio, and I'm going to be scrapping some pictures of my granddaughter in front of our neighbor's tree that is just gorgeous every year. So I originally pulled out Spice because I have these beautiful Scrappin Happy Studio flare that went with the Spice collection. But as I looked through it, I decided to go a different route. And I have, I'm showing you the Spellbinders dies because it looked like she had used some dies for her mats. So I'm going to do that. But I have these two collections, the Simply Stories Acorn Lane, or Simple Stories Acorn Lane, and Echo Park Fall Fever, and neither one of them have even been opened yet. These were, I think, last year's collections, but again, not even opened yet. So I decided I wanted to go this route. I liked how in the inspiration piece, she had used just some fun little small prints in the background, and it just didn't have the feel of 49 and Market. So I decided to go with these, and I, off camera, went ahead and took this paper from the Echo Park line. That is the background. That's the white with the little florals, and I love that. It's very bright. And then I chose a plaid. I did gut it because I love that background paper. And then I chose the plaid because I thought it was a nice contrast, and it also went really well with the look of my photos. My granddaughter has a little plaid dress on, and so I liked them matted on the white, so I went ahead and took some heavyweight cardstock in a bright white that's from Joann's, and I use it quite often. It's 110 pound, and I really like it. But I went ahead and die cut and then cut my photos so that they would fit perfectly inside. Now the largest photo there, if you can tell on the left hand side, there's a little bit more space. The picture, I couldn't make it fit perfectly in there, but I'm going to fix that in a minute here with this paper and this little plaid from Simple Stories. I actually am just using the branding strip because I just couldn't cut into the whole sheet just for a little strip for the side. Jenny had used a couple of black strips on the sides of two of her photos, and so that's what this represents for me, and I put it over the mat. So that covers up the spot that it wasn't quite all the way to the edge, and I just liked how it looked, especially because the orientation of the picture, she is quite a bit farther over to that side, and then having that little strip just, it just highlights that to me, just showing you the focus of the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and get this laid down, rough up the edges. You saw me distressing with my distress tool, and then I'm going to also continue to distress with my fingernail. And if you're yelling at the camera right now saying, oh no, that's not straight, I fix it, but I don't fix it on camera. I fix it right before I took my final pictures. I know it's not very straight right there, and I didn't get my T-square ruler out. I just kept going, but I did get it fixed, so never fear. I only got one smile out of her. I just took these pictures, and the tree now, it happened so fast this year, and maybe it does every year, and I'm just, crazy old lady, but that tree is completely bare. We've had wind for 2 days, and the tree is completely bare, and it was green and then changed like in 2 days to the beautiful color that it is in this photo. And I took the pictures the next day after, because I noticed it on a Sunday. Then Monday, I took the pictures and we did it, pretty early in the morning, actually. The sun was just coming up and I loved how it looked on her face. It kind of gave the pictures kind of a really soft hue, and I really liked them. But boy, I couldn't get a smile out of her. We had one smile and the rest she was just kind of playing around in the leaves, and I like that. And in Jenny's photos, her granddaughter was also doing the same thing. She wasn't, facing the camera and modeling perfectly either, and as a 1-year-old or 2-year-old ever does, right? So we're going with it, and I thought it was pretty cute where she was bent down kind of picking some leaves up and just looking at the leaves and walking around in them. So I thought they were fun. Good representation of how she is right now, so I didn't want to use the same plaid on the other photo, so I found this one, and that one I also used a branding strip, and it has some leaves on it, and I liked how that looked over there. So, and then I'm pulling out this Scrappin Happy Studio flare. These are mini flare and they're canvas, and I love them. I have tons and tons of flare from Jenny, and her shop has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I have a lot of it hoarded and I really should use it more often. I failed to pull it out because I'm just grabbing a collection and going with it. And I need to make a better effort of leaving it right there on my desk and using it on each layout, because I really do love it. So I pulled out a cut apart from the Simple Stories line, and you saw me fussy cutting that. And then the sticker is from the Echo Park line. And I don't love that up there. It just doesn't, it's too much, too many flowers, too much something, I don't know. So I'm going to change that out here in a minute, because it just doesn't really go there. I liked the wreath. I like it a lot because I felt like I needed something white in the middle there, because each of the photos are, have the white mat behind them. And I thought that the title also needed to have some white. That's also the reason you saw me cutting that tag out of the white background. I thought it really needed something white. I didn't really like any of them that were colored. I did add two because I wanted to have that pinky peachy color represented. Again, it's over on the side with the acorns and the little hearts going down the right hand strip there, and I wanted that also to be represented in the tags. So I ended up doing two where Jenny only had one in hers. So I'm looking at the inspiration piece again, and I did make a little change on where the flare goes. I didn't like it just right over top of that bird. And the bird on the branch there, that was my favorite sticker off of this. Probably to be completely honest, I probably bought the whole line just because I like the little birds on this. They're so cute. I'm just hooked on that. So I fiddle around quite a bit and end up with this idea for this wreath, because I really still like that wreath up there. And even though I had already put foam tape on that other sticker, which I do love that sticker off of the Echo Park one too, it wasn't going to work for this. So my little bird up there at the top in the wreath, I thought that drew the whole thing together. And I have the phrase sticker says Hello Fall. The other sticker by the other little banner sticker says Fall. It doesn't bother me that that's repeated. I think it works out fine. So I am going to settle on that and not fiddle along anymore with that. So I did want a hole reinforcer because the pre-made tag already had one. So I just punched one, and then I'm going to add my twine. I am going to, this piece I cut too short, and I thought I was going to be able to make a bow, and that didn't work, so I just ended up with a knot. But I knew I was going to put a bow in one and do a knot in the other one anyway. That's normally what I do if I have two tags together. I don't do the same thing in both. I usually have one one way and the other way. So The little foxes are pretty cute too, but the bird's definitely my favorite. So I'm going to add, I just was basically pulling this one out for the colors. Doesn't bother me that the little foxes are covered up. I didn't need them to, so we'll go with the little birdies on this one. I'm going to get my bow settled in how I wanted. I actually in the beginning showed you some twine that I thought I was going to use, and it was kind of an off-white, and I ended up thinking that I needed this more, I guess you'd call it a craft color or jute color, and I liked it a little bit better than that lighter one that I had initially pulled out. So I've got that fixed, and for some reason that one little mat was kind of buckling a little bit, and it'll flatten out once it's in my album. You know, no worries there, but I don't know if it's just how when I put my foam on or what happened, but it was a little bit waffled up there. I did pop up several of the elements. The bird and the phrase there, each of the photos are popped up on foam tape. The canvas flare is going to have to be popped up because they're both overlapping the photos. So even though that is a little bit thick, because it's going over the photo, I have to put some foam tape on the back part that's not overlapping the photo so that it's even. So I'm doing that. You can see that there. She only had 2 pieces of flare on hers, and that was initially why I pulled out the wreath, because I knew I wanted one more round element. I also really wanted something white, and not fussy cutting the inside of the wreath was going to provide that that color that I needed, or the white that I needed up there in that. So that's why I left it the way it is. A lot of times I would go ahead and fussy cut out the middle as well, but I really wanted the white in there for this, and so it's doing double duty there with the white and with the circular element. I'm going to add a few more stickers out of both sheets. So the little plaid leaf, and I don't think I do that on camera, but I do pop up the end, the bottom part of that leaf, and then the top part where it's tucked under the picture is flat to the page. Really wanted to get this little flower on, and I couldn't find a spot for it. I fussed around more, honestly, at the very end, just trying to add the finishing touches to this than I did with anything else, and I did not even film all of it. These enamel dots they're actually 49 in Market bubbles. I think wishing bubbles is what they call those. I fussed around with that literally probably a good 5 minutes, and I cut some of that out because it's just ridiculous. Does anyone else do that? Fuss around? I'm not good with enamel dots anyway, and I don't even honestly love using them. I buy these from 49 in Market because I just can't resist, and then I have lots of packages of those just sitting because I struggle so much trying to figure out where they look best, where it doesn't look funny. Now the ones over there by the title, I thought they looked fantastic. I loved it in the center of that flower, but then trying to make them look right in each cluster, I couldn't do it. I ended up really only having them in 2 at the top by the title, and then the place right down here by the tags. And I wanted some in a 3rd place, like for the diagonal down by the bottom birdie there where it says fall, and I couldn't make it work, and I didn't like anything, and I liked it better without, so they're only in 2 places, and I'm completely okay with that. So I think I have finally given up trying to make them work, and here are my final pictures. They're a little bit bright just because I had no sun and I was trying to do it under my lights, so not the best ending photos, but I think you can still get the idea. You can see how I have used the inspiration piece and Don't forget to hop along to everyone else playing along. There is a playlist in the description, and I would love for you to check everyone else out. Everyone will have great fun ideas to go with this scrap lift. And don't forget to subscribe. I would really love to have you if you are not already. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.